Anyway, so Facebook ad auctions, the secret here is when they give you a suggested bid range, if you want your ad to have the highest odds of appearing, I recommend that you take the highest recommended bid point and make that your target. There's ways where you can come back in after your ad is launched and it's been out there for a while, and you'll see that their suggested bid range might actually have lowered, and you can go back in there and readjust your daily bid or your maximum bid amount and adjust it downward after it's had some play to see how it's actually performing. Yes?
About how much do you spend on ads through Facebook a month?
Well, it depends on what I'm advertising. As an example, so the Pleasant Hill Art, Wine, and Jazz Festival, we allocated $500 for 5 days, $100 a day. So the net result of that, because we targeted the ads creatively, we ended up getting 3.8 million impressions in 5 days. So, but for my real estate listings, I typically spend $5 a day, and rarely will spend more than $50 on an open house guide ad for my listings. In many cases, it's $20 or $30, and I'll hit 2,000 people, but they're the right 2,000 people that are likely to show up and walk through the open house. So it's really kind of tailored to, like doing a festival, that's a huge event. You've got audiences all over the Bay Area. For a house that I'm selling in Pleasant Hill, my audience is probably within a 10-mile radius of the house, right? So, but that's what's great about these ads is you can drill these down and make them super, super cheap if you know who your buyer is. Yes?
And also, too, I think it depends on what you're going to be getting paid for, what the conversion ratio is. So if they convert into a customer, how much money is that going to make you, and how much of that money do you budget for a future ad? I think it's all relative.
Yeah. So,
is the bidding like Google? Let's say your max bid is 50 cents, the second one is 25 cents. They would charge you 26 cents. They would bring you a penny above the second highest bidder. Does it work like that, or do you pay whatever your maximum bid is going to be?
yeah, so you're referring to Google AdWords, and it's similar but different. You know, there's a strategy depending on if you're going pay per click or pay per impression. I've recently discovered in most cases it's better off going pay per impression than pay per click. So if you want to know what a click is, a click simply means the clicks are counted each time a user clicks through to your ad, to your landing page. And if you're advertising on Facebook or a page or an event, a click is also counted when a user likes your page or place or RSVPs to your event within the ad. So as I said earlier, there's two places you can advertise, off Facebook and on Facebook. And Facebook has set up what they count a click differently depending on if you're advertising off of Facebook or on Facebook. So every time someone clicks on an ad and it takes them off to your own website, that's called a click. You pay 50 cents, $1.10, whatever your pay per click setting is that you put on there. Cost per click is the same. You know, you'll be charged when your users click on your ad and visit your website. Click-through rate, that just means the number of clicks your ad receives divided by the number of times your ad is shown on the site, which is an impression, in the same time period. And they don't guarantee any number of clicks or impressions, and you're only going to be charged for those clicks that you receive. So we talked about impressions. Now CPM, this is cost per thousand of impressions. So you have CPC, which is a cost per click every time someone clicks on the ad. And then you have CPM, which is cost per thousand. So you're going to pay 72 cents for every 1,000 impressions that you get from that ad. And then, so here's an example of an ad that I would do. This is for an open house. And so I'll run this ad about a week before the open house day. And they don't give you a lot of room for text here, so you have to be pretty, selective about the words that you select. But essentially, this has everything in it that a newspaper open house guide ad has, right? It has the size of the house, the address, the price, and if they happen to click on this ad, which at this point, I don't really care if they click on the ad so much. I want them to show up at my open house if they're interested. So, and this is a case where I'm not going to go cost per click. I'm going to run this ad on cost per impression because I want it to be seen and hit all the people that need to see it. If they never click on it, I don't care. They get what they need right off the ad. But if they click on it, if this opens for us, this is what they will see. And this is an example of taking them offline, off of Facebook and somewhere else. It's going to take a minute to load.
Can you choose your demographics of who sees your ad?
Absolutely, that's another cool thing about Facebook ads. So if they click on this ad, they're going to be taking a virtual tour of my listing right from their living room with a cup of coffee in their pajamas on Facebook. They are now touring Alhambra Valley, and there I am in the corner smiling at them, hoping that they share this with somebody or show up. This is one of the reasons that I got really interested in using Facebook ads for real estate. One big reason is my competitors haven't really figured this out yet, and there's very little competition. So what I've done is I've blended video and visual with a Facebook ad. And that's where you can amplify the power of an ad by giving people the visual impression. So you can do the same thing. You can have this go offline to a video of whatever it is that you want to sell or want them to know about, or you can take them to a website landing page or a place where they can buy event tickets, which is what we did for the Art, Wine, and Jazz Festival. Here's the performance of that particular ad for 5 days. We hit 17,000, we reached 17,000 people. The average time, the average number of times these folks saw it were 3.6 times. We got 53 clicks, 53 people took that visual tour. And I spent less than $35. And I targeted people over 25 who live within 10 miles of Martinez, and I put some other stuff in there too. Here's my bid. I was bidding a dollar on a cost per click, and it was actually only charging me 65 cents. This happens all the time with Facebook ads. You end up paying a lot less than your maximum bid, but by setting your maximum bid at the upper end of the suggested range, it increases your odds that Facebook is actually going to allow it to have that impression. So you'll discover after you go back in to your dashboard and check your ad, you'll see that you're actually paying a lot less than what you agreed to pay. This is an example of the ad we did for the Pleasant Hill Blues and Brews Festival last July. We spent $300. We had 461 clicks. We reached 319,000 people who saw it an average of 3 times, and they socially connected and pushed that to 2,500 of their friends, all for $300. So has anyone done any newspaper ads in the Contra Costa Times lately? Can you come back and ask the Times to give you that kind of data? You can't. You have no idea if it's working. All you know is that if you don't do something, nothing's going to happen, right? Here's one we did for the Art, Wine, and Jazz Festival. I got a little better at using paper impressions. So we hit 3.8 million impressions, 243 clicks. We spent $500. We spent 13 cents cost per 1,000 impression and $2 a click. So that's not bad. We hit a lot of people in 5 days for not much money. So there's a lot to talk about with Facebook ads. The thing to remember is that if you ever need any help in understanding any of this, Facebook has a help center, which is very, very good. That's where I get a lot of the information to make these slides, is I just copy and paste right out of their help center. It's very easy to understand. You shouldn't be afraid of any of this stuff. They really have set it up well. And also you can go onto YouTube and just type in Facebook ad or, build a page or whatever, and you're going to see a lot of video tutorials there that you can access for this too. So we're going to have to jump up a little bit here because we're running out of time. Here's the Help Center. This is what it looks like. and everything's there. Learn about ads, build your brand, market your local business. That means build a page.